Republicans have voted to vote on their plan to have a plan to repeal and perhaps replace Obamacare. Now, as vague as that sounds, we actually have a pretty good idea what it means. Senate Republicans are letting all of their old healthcare plans that they couldn't quite agree on get voted down, before moving on to their new healthcare plan that, in the words of Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price, would only appeal to the lowest common denominator to try to get the 50 votes it needs, at which point they would go to conference with House Republicans to supposedly write their real bill. And what would that be? Well, something a lot like their old plan that they weren't able to pass. That's right, Republicans are rallying behind a new bill that hasn't had any hearings, hasn't gotten a budget score, and hasn't even been written yet, all so that they can try to ram through their old bill that they just decided they don't have the votes for. It doesn't make much sense, but what do you expect when Republicans have only had 7 years to think about this? That leaves us with three possibilities. The first is that they aren't able to pass anything at all. Maybe their new bill, what they're calling skinny repeal, won't even be able to make it through the Senate. Or maybe it will, but the House will vote it down. Or maybe they really will write another new plan in conference, but one of them won't be able to pass it. The second is that they end up passing something like their original plan, which, according to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, would lead to 22 million to 23 million fewer people having health insurance in 10 years' time. The idea is that passing skinny repeal would, as Sen. Bob Corker, R10, put it, be a forcing mechanism that would let them get to a conference committee where they could bring their previous plan back. Why would they pass that then, when they couldn't pass it now? Because Republicans think it would be harder to vote against repealing Obamacare at the last step of the legislative process rather than the second to last one.